Welcome back to the B&B Spoilers channel. Today, we will dive into the captivating drama surrounding Luna Nozawa and her spiraling emotions as revealed in the upcoming episode of The Bold and the Beautiful for Wednesday, June 11th. Prepare for a roller coaster of tension, heartbreak, and unexpected confrontations as Luna's world unravels with Poppy Nozawa stepping in to halt her daughter's downward spiral, Remy Price's unsettling involvement, and a deeper look into Luna's fixation on Steffi Forrester. Let's unpack the intricate layers of this storyline with fresh perspectives, expanded details, and a closer examination of the emotional stakes at play. The episode begins with Luna Nozawa caught in a storm of her own making, her frustrations boiling over as she grapples with the consequences of her past actions. Fans of The Bold and the Beautiful will recall the chilling scenes of Luna at the shooting range, taking aim at a photo of Steffi Forrester with a mix of anger and desperation. Under the guidance of Remy Price, a mysterious figure who has recently inserted himself into Luna's life, she's been honing her skills with a firearm. A troubling sign of how far her resentment has grown. On Tuesday's episode, Luna extends an invitation to Remy to join her at her apartment for a more private and candid conversation. Eager to uncover more about her turmoil, Remy accepts without hesitation, stepping deeper into the chaos that surrounds her. Their clandestine meeting sets the stage for revelations that could either pull Luna back from the brink or push her further into dangerous territory. As they sit in the dimly lit apartment, surrounded by reminders of Luna's fractured family ties, Remy listens intently as she pours out her grievances, her voice trembling with a mix of rage and sorrow over the life she feels Steffi has stolen from her. As their discussion unfolds, Luna paints a vivid picture of herself as the wronged party, a young woman robbed of a meaningful connection with her father, Finn, due to Steffi's unwavering presence in his life. She describes Steffi as an impenetrable wall, blocking the father-daughter bond she so desperately craves. With each word, her obsession becomes more apparent, her tone laced with a bitter resolve that sends a shiver down Remy's spine. While Remy empathizes with Luna's pain, having witnessed her struggles firsthand at the range, he can't shake the growing unease in his gut. He gently probes into her intentions, warning her that any reckless move against Steffi could jeopardize the fragile freedom she clings to after her past misdeeds. His words carry a weight of concern, hinting at his own unspoken fears about how far Luna might go to eliminate what she perceives as her greatest obstacle. The flickering candlelight in the apartment casts shadows across Luna's face, mirroring the darkness that seems to be creeping into her heart as she weighs Remy's caution against her burning desire for retribution. Meanwhile, the tension escalates as Poppy Nozawa, Luna's mother, catches wind of her daughter's troubling behavior. Word has spread through the grapevine, with Sheila Sharp and Deacon Sharp raising red flags about Luna's erratic actions and volatile mindset. Determined to intervene before things spiral further out of control, Poppy makes her way to Luna's apartment, her heart heavy with a mix of maternal guilt and resolve. When she arrives, the air is thick with unspoken resentment as she faces her daughter in a raw, emotionally charged confrontation. Poppy, with a voice both stern and pleading, attempts to shatter the illusion of victimhood that Luna has wrapped herself in. She acknowledges the parenting missteps of her past. Moments where she failed to provide the stability Luna needed, but she refuses to let her daughter use those shortcomings as a crutch. Standing firm in the cramped living room, Poppy points out that Luna is no longer a child, she's a grown woman whose choices, including grave errors, are hers alone to bear. The words cut deep, stirring a storm of defiance in Luna, who feels the sting of what she perceives as betrayal from the one person who should always stand by her side. Poppy's confrontation takes a sharper turn as she directly addresses the severity of Luna's actions, reminding her of the horrific crimes she committed and the audacious attempt to frame her own mother for them. With a gaze that pierces through Luna's defenses, Poppy insists that accountability is the only path forward, no more excuses, no more self-pity. Luna, however, recoils at this harsh truth, her emotions erupting in a torrent of accusations. She lashes out, claiming that Poppy is abandoning her just as everyone else has, from Grandma Sheila to Bill Spencer. Her voice cracks as she lists the names of those she believes have turned their backs on her, each name a dagger in her already wounded heart. In a moment of raw vulnerability, Luna confesses that she feels utterly alone, convinced that Finn could offer her the love and acceptance she yearns for if only Steffi weren't standing in the way like an unyielding fortress. Poppy watches in horror as the depth of Luna's obsession with Steffi becomes painfully clear, her daughter's words echoing with a dangerous determination that sends chills down her spine. The realization hits Poppy like a tidal wave. Luna is spiraling far beyond what she had feared. Sheila and Deacon's warnings, once dismissed as overreactions, now ring true with alarming clarity. Unable to ignore the gravity of the situation, Poppy knows she must act swiftly to protect not only Luna but those around her who might become targets of her unchecked emotions. Later in the week, Poppy takes her concerns to the hospital, seeking out Finn and Lee Finnegan to share the distressing updates about Luna's state of mind. As she stands in the sterile, brightly lit corridors of the hospital, her face etched with worry, Poppy recounts the disturbing conversation, emphasizing Luna's fixation on Steffi and the potential for disaster if her behavior goes unaddressed. The urgency in her voice underscores the stakes, as she pleads for their insight and support to help steer Luna back to a place of reason before her actions lead to irreversible consequences. As the episode builds toward its climax, the bold and the beautiful spoilers hint at even more layers to this gripping saga. Luna's inner turmoil, fueled by rejection and a skewed sense of entitlement, threatens to ignite conflicts that could reshape relationships across the canvas. Will Poppy's tough love be enough to pull Luna from the brink, or will her daughter's obsession with dismantling Steffi's place in Finn's life lead to catastrophic decisions? And what role will Remy Price play in this unfolding drama? Will he be a voice of caution or an unwitting enabler of Luna's darker impulses? The answers lie ahead, promising viewers a front-row seat to the raw, unfiltered emotions that define this iconic soap opera. Next, we will delve into the intensifying drama surrounding Luna Nozawa as her actions spark alarm and desperation among her family and foes in the latest episode of The Bold and the Beautiful. Brace yourselves for a deep dive into a web of obsession, warnings, and looming danger as Luna's fixation on Steffi Forrester reaches a boiling point. With Deacon Sharp issuing ultimatums, Sheila Sharp and Poppy Nozawa scrambling to intervene, and Liam Spencer fearing for his loved one's safety, this storyline promises high stakes and raw emotion. Let's explore this gripping narrative with expanded details, creative rephrasings, and fresh elements to paint a vivid picture of the chaos unfolding in Los Angeles. The episode opens with a charged encounter at Il Giardino, where Deacon Sharp lays down the law with a visibly unhinged Luna Nozawa. His frustration palpable, Deacon orders her to pack her bags and leave town for good, his voice a low growl as he emphasizes that no one in their circle wants her around. Standing behind the bar, he points a stern finger at her, warning her explicitly to steer clear of Sheila Sharp and Steffi Forrester. Luna, her eyes flashing with defiance, counters with a raised voice, insisting that her issue isn't with her grandmother but with Steffi, whom she blames for sabotaging any chance of a bond with her father, Finn. Deacon, haunted by his own past and determined to avoid another stint behind bars, slams a knife into a lemon on the counter for emphasis, the sharp thud echoing his resolve. He repeats his warning to stay away from Sheila, Finn, and Steffi, before turning his back on her. Alone now, Luna's fingers tremble as they brush against the cold metal of the gun hidden in her handbag, a silent testament to the storm brewing within her. She exits the restaurant, her mind racing with thoughts of retribution as the bustling sounds of Il Giardino fade behind her. Meanwhile, at the Cliff House, tension hangs heavy in the air as Liam Spencer grapples with mounting concern over Luna's unpredictable behavior. Pacing the sunlit living room with worry etched across his face, Liam voices his distress over how Luna managed to breach the sanctuary of the house while Steffi was there, vulnerable and alone. His voice cracks with anxiety as he questions how far Luna's desperation might push her, each word laced with a fear of the unknown. What if her actions escalate beyond mere threats? Steffi, though visibly shaken, tries to anchor him with a calm demeanor, her hands gently resting on his shoulders as she urges him to prioritize his own well-being amidst this chaos. Liam, however, shakes his head, his jaw tight with determination. He confesses that true peace will remain elusive as long as the people he holds dear are at risk, his protective instincts flaring at the thought of Luna lurking as a persistent danger to his family. The ocean waves crashing outside the window seem to mirror the tumultuous emotions swirling within him, amplifying the urgency of ensuring safety for those he loves. Across town, at Deacon's modest apartment, Sheila Sharp confronts Poppy Nozawa with a fervor born of genuine alarm over Luna's spiraling obsession with Steffi. The dimly lit room feels claustrophobic as Sheila's sharp words cut through the silence, imploring Poppy to step up as a mother and take decisive action. Her tone is both a plea and a command as she demands that Poppy rein in her daughter before she strikes again, her prediction of imminent danger hanging heavy in the air. Poppy, wrestling with a mix of doubt and dread, tentatively asks if Sheila might be exaggerating the threat. But Sheila's eyes narrow as she recounts Luna's chilling history, how she took the lives of 2 men and trapped Steffi in a cage with deadly intent. The memory of those dark deeds fuels Sheila's insistence that Poppy cannot afford to downplay the risk to Steffi's life. Just then, Deacon enters, his presence adding weight to the conversation. Sheila quickly informs him that she's been sounding the alarm to Poppy about Luna's dangerous fixation. Deacon nods grimly, affirming that such warnings are necessary, describing Luna as increasingly delusional and a genuine threat to Steffi's safety. The flickering light of a nearby lamp casts long shadows, mirroring the darkening prospects of averting a looming catastrophe. Deacon deepens the conversation by sharing his recent encounter with Luna at Il Giardino, revealing her audacious attempt to seek his support and sway him to her side. His brow furrows as he admits to Poppy that he's baffled by Luna's belief that he, of all people, might forgive her past transgressions. Poppy, her expression a mix of confusion and concern, struggles to comprehend why her daughter would turn to Deacon for solace. Shaking his head, Deacon recounts how he firmly told Luna to leave town, making it crystal clear that she must not involve herself with Sheila, Finn, or Steffi ever again. Yet, doubt lingers in his voice as Sheila presses him on whether he believes Luna heeded his directive. Deacon can only shrug, uncertainty clouding his features, but he adds a troubling detail. Luna accused him of merely following Steffi's orders, her words dripping with resentment. Sheila's face hardens as she reveals that Luna's obsession with Finn's wife has reached a terrifying peak, with Luna ominously suggesting that everyone would be better off if Steffi were gone for good. Her voice breaks with urgency as she turns to Poppy once more, begging her to track down Luna before her volatile emotions boil over into another devastating act. As the episode builds toward its emotional crescendo, the stakes couldn't be higher for everyone entangled in Luna's web of anger and delusion. Her fixation on Steffi as the root of all her pain threatens to unravel fragile family ties and ignite a firestorm of conflict. Will Poppy muster the strength to confront her daughter and halt her destructive path, or will Luna's desperation drive her to cross a line from which there's no return? How will Liam and Steffi fortify their defenses against a threat that grows more unpredictable by the day? And can Deacon and Sheila, despite their own complicated histories, unite to protect those in Luna's crosshairs? Next. We will immerse ourselves in the electrifying drama surrounding Luna Nozawa as her troubling obsession with Steffi Forrester takes a menacing turn in the latest episode of The Bold and the Beautiful. Get ready for a story packed with tension, unexpected alliances, and dark undercurrents as Luna's actions at a shooting range send shockwaves through her family and beyond. With Remy Price stepping into her chaotic world, Liam Spencer's health deteriorating under stress, and Sheila Sharp grappling with her own conflicted loyalties, this episode is a powder keg of emotion. Let's explore this gripping narrative with expanded details, creatively rephrased content, and new elements that bring fresh depth to the unfolding crisis. The scene kicks off at a gritty, isolated shooting range on the outskirts of Los Angeles, where Luna Nozawa grips a firearm with unsteady hands, her gaze fixed on a paper target fluttering in the cool breeze. As she stares down the barrel, her mind flashes to a bitter memory of Steffi Forrester, her voice cold and commanding, ordering Luna to disappear and never return. The sting of rejection fuels her resolve, her jaw tightening with each recalled word. Suddenly, a familiar voice pierces through her reverie. Remy Price, an enigmatic figure from her past, steps forward with a curious grin, asking if it's really her. Luna's lips curve into a faint smile as recognition dawns. She remembers him as Dario from Bill Spencer's house, but Remy corrects her with a chuckle, revealing his true name. He confesses to using an alias to secure a job at Bill's, wary of being recognized due to a messy history with Bill's son, Will, and his girlfriend, Electra, a tangled romance that turned complicated when feelings grew unreciprocated. Remy's eyes gleam with intrigue as he hints that perhaps Luna shares a taste for intense connections, knowing she once harbored dreams of a life with Will. Now, with Bill's influence securing her release from jail, he muses that her fantasies might come true. Luna, however, brushes off the notion, her voice low and focused as she insists her only dream is building a life with her father, Finn, a dream obstructed by Steffi's unyielding presence. Remy shifts the conversation, casting a skeptical glance at the gun in Luna's hand and questioning why she's at a shooting range with no apparent skill to wield it. His tone is half teasing, half concerned as he remarks that she looks more likely to hurt herself than hit a target. Luna, seizing the chance to shift focus, flashes a challenging smirk and retorts, "Well, hotshot, care to show me the ropes?" Remy obliges, stepping close to guide her stance, his hand steadying hers as he teaches her to aim with precision. As bullets fly, he speculates aloud that she must have acquired the weapon for protection, given the resentment simmering around her release. Luna's expression darkens as she opens up about finally finding her father, how Finn appeared at Bill's door with the life-changing revelation. Her voice should carry joy, but instead, it drips with venom as she brands Steffi a vicious barrier, the sole obstacle to her happiness. Gripping the gun tighter, she fires at the target with renewed ferocity, each shot a release of the frustration festering within her as the echo of gunfire reverberates through the empty range. Meanwhile, at the Cliff House, a different kind of storm brews as Liam Spencer struggles with his frail health, swallowing his medication under Steffi's watchful eye. The spacious room feels suffocating as Steffi gently pleads with him not to let Luna's shadow consume his thoughts, her concern evident in every word. Finn, standing nearby with a protective stance, reaffirms his unyielding commitment to safeguarding his family, his voice a steady anchor in the chaos. Liam, though apologetic for overstepping, can't shake the weight of knowing Luna is Finn's daughter, a connection that gnaws at his peace. Finn, unflinching, assures him that blood ties won't cloud his judgment, his priority is Steffi and their children. Steffi nods, her trust in Finn unwavering, but Liam's agitation spills over as he rails against Luna's delusional fantasy of a fairy tale bond with Finn. His hands tremble as he begs Steffi to rest, yet admits his own panic. Luna could be out there scheming at this very moment. Finn, sensing Liam's spiraling stress, offers to check his blood pressure, but Liam snaps, his voice rising in desperation. This isn't about him, he insists, it's about Steffi's safety, about ensuring Kelly doesn't lose another pillar of her world. His pleas crescendo as he demands to know how they can shield Steffi from the lurking threat, the crashing waves outside mirroring the tumult in his heart. After Liam is coaxed back to his room, Steffi and Finn share a quiet moment in the now still living room, their agreement unspoken but firm: they must shield Liam from further stress for the sake of his fragile health. Finn's face tightens with guilt as he confesses how much he loathes bringing this relentless fear into Steffi's life through his connection to Luna. Steffi, her eyes softening, wraps her arms around him, promising that nothing will tear her from his side, least of all Luna Nozawa. Their embrace is a fortress against the outside world, a tender moment of defiance against the storm threatening to engulf them. The golden afternoon light streaming through the window contrasts sharply with the dark uncertainty of Luna's intentions, casting a poignant glow on their united front as they brace for whatever comes next. At Deacon Sharp's modest apartment, Sheila Sharp paces restlessly, her phone pressed to her ear as she repeatedly tries to reach Finn and Steffi. Frustration etches her features as she confides in Deacon that her efforts to warn them are met with distrust, a bitter pill given her tarnished history. Deacon, leaning against the kitchen counter, offers a rare smile of pride. He never imagined Sheila would grow to care so deeply for Steffi. Sheila's expression softens briefly before hardening again as she admits Luna isn't entirely wrong in seeing Steffi as a roadblock to her bond with Finn. Yet, her protective instincts flare. She refuses to let her granddaughter harm Steffi. Labeling Luna as out of control and dangerously irrational, Sheila's voice carries a tremor of fear. Deacon, ever blunt, calls Luna outright unhinged, his tone leaving no room for doubt.